Now, pinball's a test of driving power and precision to pick up points. The arena's dotted with specific obstacles to hit. 2 sets of barrels, 5 points for each barrel. Hit the big silver sphere into the highlighted shallow pit, that's 25 points. Up and over the ramp, you'll get 20 points, but you've got to go all the way up and over the ramp. And that'll take you to the multi-ball release option. 10 points for releasing the multi-ball, 5 points for each orange ball into the pit. Open the car doors, you'll get 25 points. And all around the arena, the major targets. 50 points, guarded by Bash. 50 points, guarded by Matilda. 75 points, but dead metal's there, and Sir Killalot has free reign of the arena. Let's see who's up first.
Seed number 9, 101.
Good to see them back there. Seeded 9 in the main competition. From Kettering, Mike and Amy Franklin. Amy carries with her a little bunny mascot wherever she goes.
Stand by.
Tracks are made from a milk washing machine.
2, 1. Activate.
Racing car batteries for the power and straight for the barrels. 5, 10, 15 points. That's easily done now. Put over the ramp, no Killalots there. Oh no, straight to Bash. Well, Bash is guarding one of the targets, 50 points. But that's a strange decision. Bad control, not up and over the ramp completely, so that won't score you anything. Bash waits again, the spear is rolling, but not towards the pit. There's little Amy. Why are you taking on Killalot? Why? I don't understand. Underneath the ramp. Won't score you points either. Come on. Time is ticking down. So the multi-ball release. That's good, 10 points gain now. If any of those balls go into the pit, that's another 5 points each ball. Get through that car door. They hit the 75-point target. That's good work. For 101. Too sure if they got 101 points up yet.
Cease.
Ooh. Cagey, steady sort of run, but not spectacular. Generous applause. Yeah, they believe they could have done better. That was the steady start. Now, does that constitute a correct run up and over the ramp? The judges will have to decide that one. If they've gone up and over the ramp, that's not a bad run, you know, all told, because they picked up points elsewhere quite steadily. There's the 75. That's a big one to get. And the judges say 125 points. Now, that's not a bad start. At least they're top of the leaderboard after the one run.
More for all you pinball punters soon, but now it's back to the wars.
Craig to come, King V3 against Atomic, but first up, the underdogs Medusa 2000 against the champs Chaos 2, who are with Jules right now in the pits.
Here we are backstage. The tension is hotting up. You can see the arena through there. It's being prepared for the next round, which will be Chaos 2 against Medusa 2000.
Yep.
Now, how do you feel about that? You've seen him in action.
Yeah, this one runs both ways up, so this could be interesting.
Now, what about their weaponry?
They haven't got much in the way of weaponry, but they're still going to be difficult because they can go both ways up. We can flip them, but so what? So
what do you think your tactics will be?
Perhaps out of the arena.
I think they're worried. They're asking about where the nearest car boot sales were and things before.
We're going to retire it and turn it into a lawnmower, a robot lawnmower afterwards.
Oh dear, God, but they're not sounding too confident, but not surprising.
Roboteers, stand by.
Sir Killalot ominously looks on. Medusa 2000, Don Weir at the controls, a computer engineer. And Chaos 2, George Francis, self-employed electronics engineer at the controls
3,
as ever.
2, 1, activate.
Immediately Chaos 2 trying to get in underneath Medusa 2000. It has a 5-centimetre ground clearance, Medusa. It may not seem a lot to you or I. Oh, but in Robot Wars, it's a chasm! Chaos 2 immediately driving in underneath Medusa 2000 on the back foot already and very nearly out of the arena. Chaos 2 here, hell-bent on demonic destruction. Medusa 2000, all credit on the attack, but on its side also the wheels spinning but going nowhere. Flashes back to the arena floor, can start again then. Chaos 2 buffeting, turning. And again against the arena wall and very nearly up and out again. Medusa 2000 hopelessly outclassed at this level. Dead Metal on the attack as well. George Francis at the controls. Medusa 2000 going very near Sergeant Bash, and in trouble backing onto Sergeant Bash's claws. Oh, and having its axle bent and buckled. The front-mounted pincers of Sergeant Bash crumpling there. And Medusa 2000 can have no complaints. Tom Weir drove it backwards onto the pincers of Sergeant Bash, and there's nowhere to go now. In comes Chaos 2 again, and over goes the arena flipper. Medusa 2000 hobbling around the floor. They may smile, but they know the end is nigh. Dead Metal and Sergeant Bash in the pit, they're calling. I think he should be retired, so to speak, from the arena, that is. Killalot. A lofty climb before the plummet to doom and extinction for Medusa 2000.
Well, flippity-doo-dah, flippity-day. When the reigning champ's in the arena, you get out of the way. The winner, Chaos 2!
Well, I was talking to you chaps in the pits, and you were very, very confident. What went wrong?
Everything.
Well, what was your game plan? Why did you think you were going to win?
Wishful thinking.
Wishful thinking. Well, it's a tough robot. It kept on going. I mean, it took a tremendous amount of punishment. First of all, you were flipped backwards and forwards. Then, of course, you get in Sergeant Bash's zone, and he ate your wheels.
I think they were a bit eager, though, the house robots.
They weren't that eager. You ended up in their zone. You're not complaining now, are you? Now, behave yourself.
Chaos 2. You're the reigning champs. You've caught the imagination of the public. You've been in all sorts of magazines and stuff like that as well, haven't you?
Yeah, we have, yeah. We've done a load of charity bashes and things. So it's been really good.
We've never had a robot that has hung on to the title. Do you think you've got a chance?
Yeah, we have got a chance. It's, you know, it's tough going, but we have got a chance.
I know this young man, you're not so confident about clinging on to the title, are you?
Well, I'm hopeful.
You're hopeful, but
Yeah.
not certain.
No.
Never mind. Realism. There's nothing wrong with that. So, your game plan only seems to be, though, just flipping them out of the arena.
Well, a robot like that, there's nothing else we can do with it. It'll run both ways up. It's either down the pit or over the fence.
Ladies and gentlemen, big it up! Chaos 2!
You guys, because of the pneumatics involved, you've only got a certain number of flips, haven't you?
Yes.
Per
yes,
match?
Yeah.
Do you ever worry that every flip has to be perfect and tactical?
Yes, I mean, that one I started to run out towards the end. So, yeah, we have to be a little bit careful.
A brave bid by Medusa 2000, but they're out. Now, who will play Chaos 2 in the Heat 8 final, Atomic or King B3, for all their problems?
Now, tell us about your main problem again, the problem that you always
We
face.
have already had a small fire. A very small fire now, small motors that drive the arm up and down at the front, so we've lost that now. But we've still got the spikes, we've still got the saw, we repaired the saw, so we can still do some damage, and we can still get power.
So what's your Achilles heel, if those fans don't work?
It can still go up. It can still be a bigger fire, yeah. I mean, start with a small one, we could be building up.
What do you think the weakness of your opponent is?
Size, I suppose.
Yeah? Because you're quite sturdy, aren't you? You're quite hefty. You're there,
Seems
basically.
to be, yeah.
I could give you a little tip now, actually, but I won't.
Roboteers, stand by.
Jules, you tease. King B3 on the right, Atomic on the left. King B3, you know it has a problem. They know it has a problem. It catches fire, Atomic. I didn't tell you, boys, OK?
3, 2, 1. Activate.
King B3 steering away from trouble. Don't forget it has the circular saw and the flipping spikes, but the Atomic boys have that flipper blade at the front. Immediately levering King B3 into the air. The spikes, though, will come into play to test that shell of Atomic. It's made from scrap aluminium. Dead Metal comes out of the CPZ, the corner patrol zone. Now, you go in there, and the house robots can attack you. Don't go in there. Why would you? Well, they're Roboteers. Never quite know what they're going to do. Atomic on the attack, certainly. Pushing King B3 into that CPZ. Ooh, there's Killalot. And off comes the flipping blade of Atomic. Slam into the arena wall. Buckled and bent and broke. And is now surely defenceless to the attack. It certainly can't cause major damage. In comes Refbot to have a closer look. And there's the ref cam. Well, that's the best form of attack I would have thought now for Atomic to get in underneath.